We've got one more spoken word, and that is Miss Liz Guzynski.
You should know not to stack the poets on top of each other. It strains the audience. I'll try not to strain you too much. You can wave the white flag of surrender at any time, and I'll stop. The first one, this is its first venture into public, so I would say it's far from perfect, but it's ready for a little debut. The title is Woman Accidentally Joins Search Party Looking for Herself. And this was taken from an actual news article with this title. And I couldn't help imagining a backstory to flesh out that fantastic news tidbit. Okay. It goes in 4 sections. 1, where the land gives way, time-swept trees tempt the woman too close to its friable edge as dust slickens to mud in squally rain. She teeters, a traveler who steps in others' steps, who stares at scenes worn smooth by other eyes, while their guide's bobbing flag flutters away quicker than the scudding clouds. She darts back into the bus to add to her touring regalia a neon raincoat, even as she dreams of slipping that skin, her own nearer skin, becoming monstrous, alone, and wandering wide, loose arcs across this obdurate yet inconstant land. 2. She is set out again, now free from youth's blind glare, to travel elsewhere, elsewise, else whom. She goes, not to blunt past pain or to solve today's ambiguities, but self-thrown into the world's proven impossibility. This world that offers itself to roving imaginations, although it reveals nothing, only sticks and stones and the solid, implausible fact of life. This world, which is not a something to be figured out, not even a problem without a solution, but the thing that remains opaque even when refracted through a glass-bottomed boat or from the plane's high window, muter than stone, cacophonous as monkeys, utterly resistant to the things that must be said of or done with it, to preserve its ragged fragility or to save ourselves from its equally blind ferocity. 3. When their guide's tally ticks up one short, she joins the hunt for the missing person she's never noticed. Like stick-stirred ants, the bus tourists swarm with fragments of knowledge. They stroke each other's antennae, inquiring and touch with frowning concern. Wearing a blue shirt, I think. Light hair, or maybe gray. Wandered over by the cliff. Told us to stay together. They chitter and shred into findable fragments, the bits that could be a whole person. She arcs out toward the fading sun, thinking of how she is so famously bad with names, worse with faces. And besides, what an indifferent pack we are, all pale, all round, all grayish, all female-ish, or were, but who's counting? She seeks out some soul the same height, same color, same age, same blue shirt, then tingles, ears to toes in shame, as the mental tumblers click into place. Finally, how pitfall perfect to become unrecognizable to yourself when marked in your tribe by absence, when just the accident of a tally reveals that you count for some little bit, but more, that the search has been going on for some time now, and only recently Has anyone else joined in? She ascends again, hears the geese honking at sunset, calling out their coordinates, never lost, always homeward bound. Oh, to converge on a backlit hill with growing wonder, dozens of loose stitches gathered on the evening's needles, with eyes that tighten in recognition as they reach the top and find all of themselves, each one shining an animal dark, all of the ones who have been lost, all of the ones they have been looking for all along. And I have one more, but if I'm out of time, I can quit.
You're not out of time.
Okay, great. This is a poem set in Point Reyes, California. As you know, one of the more extraordinary and beautiful spots on earth, if you've been there. Perched at the edge of the continent, grimacing at the sunset, crazy as a conquistador, pretending to be alone. One more dreamer. I have crossed so many zones, time and speed, ecological and geological, to toss my puny sorrows at the golden mist. Where the bleach blonde grasses toss their hair by sugar daddy pines, unperturbed, it seems, by time, but giving way to sand, wind, and age, one hard-fought millimeter at a time. Where hawks hang motionless in the blue, yielding not an inch of altitude until they fall hard on their prey, then climb back on the wind's invisible haunches. Where their migrating kin, starving on the wing between continents, and the blubbery commas of seals idly punctuate the sand, and the half-tame foxes and the bobbling quail and I share a blessed space out of time, no more or less than the pebbles and twigs and feathers and bits of plastic trash blowing down the coast. Then low tide reveals not only anemones, limpets, and snails, but the chattering crumble of the cliff behind me, returning to its watery home like an army of tiny limestone crabs. No matter how ancient, we are none of us impervious, this land above all, mysteriously solid and transitory to the great grinding release, chthonic beasts who have been rubbing all along fractiously as a broken family toward the long overdue disaster. Warning, the rusty beach sign says, no lifeguard on duty. Thank you.